You already know what time it is, baby. Episode number 31 of Lights Out. Because you know we bring it to you every single week, all the time, on time, for your listening and viewing pleasure. And of course, as I always have to shout out, please help us get into that algorithm with an easy subscription to the YouTube channel. It's free. We're almost at 65,000 subs. That's insanity. We'd really appreciate the love and support there. Drop a like, drop a comment. All that good stuff helps so much. And if you are a Spotify listener, I think you know a 5-star rating is what we would appreciate as well. But of course, I never do it alone. I got two of my best friends in the world with me, two of the best in the business, Light and Cosmos. Talk to me, fellas. How you doing today?
I am doing great. Had a very nice week and a half of like a lot of my friends, Smash friends, people outside of Smash come over to Mexico.
Nice.
Because I'm still in Mexico, obviously. We had a very fun week hanging out, eating great food, going to party. We had a lot of fun. So all of them basically left literally yesterday. So Vanas was the last one to leave. He left yesterday. So yesterday was the day that I kind of had like a week break from like just like my work life, social media life, and like basically yesterday was the day I started getting back to practicing. So I'm back on the grind now, but I'm feeling pretty rejuvenated.
Love it. Light?
I'm good. I had a good past week. I didn't play Smash whatsoever because I've been playing a lot lately. So I took a small break, but I started up playing again 2 days ago. I'm already playing relatively well for someone who took a break. I'm feeling good about that. Just been enjoying my last days in Salem because I should be moving soon. A bit of a bittersweet feeling.
Yeah.
I kind of want to stay, kind of don't want to stay. There's a bunch of emotions going on there. I don't know, man. It's hard, but I got to move. I don't have a place to go yet because apartments are actually just not good right now, and I'm not going to settle. So I'm probably going to be moving back in with my mother for a bit just so I could look for some place. The benefits of that is I'm going to be gaining money while that happens because I won't be paying rent. So yeah,
100%.
What's going on with me.
There's no point in just rushing it and just going somewhere that you don't want to go if you have the option. So very smart and mature decision, my guy.
For sure.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, neither one of you competed this past weekend, but that's okay because there was still a competition. I'm talking about Rise and Grind. And there's a lot to cover at this tournament. It's actually pretty entertaining to watch. If you guys don't know, it was a Steve Band event. Miya from Japan, who entered like the last 10 seconds, registration was open, entered it, came through and won it with Gluttony getting second place and Lima rounding it out in third, if I'm not mistaken, followed by MKLeo, who was on our show last week. So not bad at all. Did you guys get a chance to watch that?
I did get a chance to watch that, and I'm gonna be the first one to say that Light, you owe me $20 because Light was not even close to winning.
Yeah, you need every penny you could get, nigga. I got you.
I'm still unsponsored.
We're gonna talk about Leo later, but yeah.
That event was, I didn't watch the entirety of it. I watched the sets that I found to be interesting. Obviously, MKLeo last week on our podcast hyped himself up a lot. He was very confident going against Miya, and he did take a game, but Miya cleaned it up and he kind of closed out MKLeo. So that was interesting to see. I think Lima was the most interesting player to watch this weekend, like by far. There were some points where he was just doing things that were like godly. Like him versus Miya was an amazing set to watch. I love watching that set.
Interesting. I actually did not catch any of Lima's sets. But I always knew that he like was a very talented player and a very skilled player. And like ever since like, cause he's been like the only Bayonetta recently to like really make waves. So it's not surprising that he was basically making waves at this tournament too. But I definitely anticipated the top two to be Miya, Gluto, and I did anticipate, like I said earlier, for Miya to take it over Gluto because that matchup is very, very hard. And Miya definitely has been learning a lot recently, getting a lot better, accelerating his skill level at a very fast rate. I actually do think Miya is a very good player. I think he could be very good with other characters as well. I just think he happens to just click with Game & Watch, and Game & Watch is like a very meta relevant character. So
I click with Game & Watch too.
Yeah, I feel like everybody could honestly click with Game & Watch. But yeah, I think I'm not surprised at how the results went. I'm surprised at how not well what's his name Leo did. I thought he would do a little bit better. And I do think it was funny that even though he didn't do as well, the person to take him out was Riddles, and the Riddles also didn't really do that well either.
Yeah, bro.
There were
he got slammed by Jazzo, actually.
Yeah, there were some staggering results at this. Sen didn't place well. Karama didn't place well. You had some dark horse performances from Shattuck. He did fantastic. Tarek as well. Shouts to Tarek to get some momentum. Geist made a top 8 appearance as well. So a lot of kind of, you know what I mean? A lot of couple names that you definitely probably didn't have pegged to make that top 8 definitely showed up. And I don't really think I wasn't really too surprised by Shattuck, because I always thought Shattuck is godlike. He just needs to put it together. That kid is due. Geist has had some close calls before too. So it was nice to see. And then Tarek has always been a very solid player. So kudos to all 3 of them, especially making the nice run. And Anathema was in that top 8 as well. So that was cool to see.
Anathema beat Dabuz.
Yeah, that was nuts. Like Dabuz heavily underperformed, because remember, we've been talking about that NA kind of like big 5, and Dabuz has been among them, and he certainly underperformed at this event.
What place did he get? 9th?
Yeah, 9th. I think he just fell short. He lost to Anathema, so that was a bit of a surprise. But again, good stuff. On the topic of Lima, I got to give Lima credit. I mean, definitely think he's still a gem, but he's a damn good gem at the game. I'll say that much.
He's definitely a gem. Yeah. Did you watch the set? Did you see every time he would do something really cool, he would
look back at the crowd.
He's like, yo, that shit.
I did that. That's me.
Definitely gym behavior, but that was really funny. I cannot lie. I mean, he's always been a personality ever since Smash 4. He's definitely the same person.
Yeah, I give it up. That was a hell of a performance on his end. Honestly, if you look at it, I'd say Miya and that Yoshi Pharaoh from New York had the closest sets with Miya. Like, they had the closest sets with Miya from what I saw, for sure.
That was game 5, right?
Yeah, that was game 5. Because I think it was game 3 of that Pharaoh Miya set was insane. It was like some crazy reversal, and he killed him off the top with at 40 or something, like 40 or 45. It was nuts.
Crazy.
Yo, I'm just going to say it, bro. That shit was hilarious.
Or maybe at 0 something like that.
That set was funny as hell to watch. But I heard obviously Miya doing really good. He's top 2 in the world right now, I'd say, or top 3 nonetheless.
Number 2.
So he's really good. I love the cockiness. I didn't see him tweet this. Maybe he said it on an interview or something. But did he call the USA free?
I never heard about that. I feel like I saw
tweets saying that he said that the US was free, but I never actually saw him say that myself. You know?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, because he has that underlying bit of cockiness that is there. But I think, considering he keeps coming over here and having so much success, he can damn well maybe make that claim for sure.
He went game 5 with an unranked Yoshi. I don't know.
Yeah. But think about this. How many times?
No offense to the Yoshi. He was really good. That set was really hyped. There was like one sequence he did that was insane. But the point still stands.
He's unranked. But he's ranked in New York, to be fair.
I think he's ranked in Jersey. Tweak told me that he plays like him in his weeklies.
Okay. Jersey or New York, some tri-state. But either way, like, Miya wins those game 5s. Like, he'll go the distance, but he usually closes it out. I say his biggest adversary from winning that tournament would have been Dabuz, who didn't even make it to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and that's something that I wanted to talk about, because we've always been talking about how Dabuz has been doing very well in this meant like how he's been basically like the top, consider the top 5 in like the States, potentially in just America in general. But I personally kind of felt like that, like the meta, like he's been like doing, he's known for like Galaxy Brain. He's been doing too much Galaxy Brain, and I feel like it's been catching up to him, because I feel like the current meta for his character lineup should not really be working. And now I feel like this tournament is kind of showing that like it's not really in benefit for him, because like the characters that were in top 8, I feel like are characters that his character struggle against. So I'm not surprised that like he wasn't really able to make top 8, because I feel like it's on paper, it's how he should be performing with the characters that he's playing.
I think he'll be fine. I think he just had a bad tournament. I think if anyone could pull off, I mean, I don't know how bad people think Rosa is. I don't think Rosa's a terrible character. I don't think she's an amazing character either. But I think that Dabuz could do it with Rosa. I think he has a lot of tricks, and a lot of his tricks are pretty broken if he gets the setups. I got faith in the boy. I don't think the meta will hurt him too much, because he's used to playing in Like, he's used to playing in lots of different types of metas. Given he does usually play better characters, I don't know. I just got faith in Dabuz. I think he can do it.
Okay.
I think he can do it whenever he starts playing another character, which I think he will ultimately end up doing eventually.
I don't think so. I think it's too late in the game.
It's been so long. I'd be surprised to see Dabuz. I mean, maybe he could go back to Palu.
He's still playing Sora, and I do think Sora's a pretty good character in the meta.
Since his Japan trip, I don't think he's gotten like a shit ton of like bad results. You know?
Not at all.
Yeah, so I don't think this one result's going to be life ending for him. You know.
I don't think so, but I just think that it could be a start of them like the meta catching up to his character pool is what I'm saying.
You never know. I mean, it isn't always kind of developing meta from, the standpoint of you got to stay fresh. You know what I mean? You got to stay fresh. You got to stay relevant because if you'll notice, people are only getting better. And I think that was probably proven with a lot of these results that we saw here. To close on Miya winning, and congratulations to Miya winning, Gluto getting second. Gluto's been on a burner too, man. Got to give that guy a lot of credit. He's really threatening for top 3 in the world, if you ask me. Still got Spargo locked in at that third place solidly. But Gluto is not that far behind, and it's still debatable.
Yeah. Miya is a very interesting player to watch. Obviously, he's really freaking good. I almost went to Rise and Grind. I think I mentioned this in the last podcast. Yeah. I just decided not to go. But I really want more opportunities to fight Miya because though I think he's an amazing player, the character is not Steve. And what I mean by that is actually even Steve. Something that I've tend to notice is the best 2 players in Japan are Steve and Game & Watch players, right?
Best
Obviously,
in the world currently right now.
Yeah, best 2 players in the world right now are Steve and a Game & Watch player, right? It kind of sucks because I really wish I had more experience. I talked to Tweak about this. I really wish I had more experience versus both those characters. Those are characters that are both, weirdly enough, not very, like, they're not really around that much at a higher level. Like the best Steve main other than Acola would be Onin, and Onin's going through his own thing right now, so he's not around as much. And then the other one, or Game & Watch, would be Maister, and Maister lives in Mexico and has been doing his own thing as well. So I really wish I did have more experience versus those characters. I'm honestly looking forward to getting more experience versus those characters. I really think that would make a big difference, especially after watching Kaninabe versus Miya. It's like, okay, well, he just clearly knows something that I don't know. And I kind of feel that way versus like Steve as well. I feel I genuinely feel like, and I've been considering this lately, like if I just went to Japan and just stayed there for a month and just like only played Smash, I was like, bro, I feel like I'd get the experience I need. Not even just because Japan's different, but just simply the matchups that I'm looking for are there, I
honestly think that like if you went to Japan and played against a lot of characters, just like not really necessarily how they like the characters they play, but also like the kind of play style they have over there. I feel like you having that in your arsenal would also just kind of round you as a player overall.
Yes, I get that. The thing about me is I've always tried my best to take play style out of I usually all right. Anyways, I've always tried to take I've always tried to take play style for the most part out of people when I play Smash. I always try to put people in positions where it only matters what their character can do for the most part. So that's why I'm not really worried too much about that. I've learned so many obscure matchups in America, which I'm happy about. Yeah. But now I really want to learn Steve and Game & Watch specifically. Right. I think Steve, Game & Watch, and Wario are the main things on my mind, of course.
What the heck?
Yeah, there's your Sheik practice right there.
I don't need that.
Never need it. He said I need it.
Also,
he's back.
No,
he's back. He's back, baby. Ask him about the Sora. I know he was talking about that.
What? Cosmo said something about the Sora?
The Sora?
The Sora.
Oh, I was like, what's a thesaurus? I was thinking thesaurus.
Oh, thesaurus.
Sora, I need an answer for bad matchups, but I could also.
Yeah, I'm sure Sora would be great versus Fox. Give it a shot.
Light gave a very sarcastic response.
Did he say
you should tell him what I said.
He said that'll do it. Well, you never know. That's the fun thing about a meta that's always changing.
I will say that I do agree with you. Mm-hmm. Like 60%, I say 60% mainly because I do 100% agree with you that if you play, I think if you learn the Game & Watch matchup and learn exactly how to play against Game & Watch. Like if you were to sit down with Maister and grind with them for like a few days or a week, I feel like for you it would just be a few days. I feel like you would be well versed in the matchup to be able to take on Miya, and like basically it would obviously still be a very hard matchup for you because Fox Game & Watch is like -2, -3 potentially.
Maybe I think it could be better than that.
Maybe -1. I don't know. Unless I see him on this podcast, you never know.
I don't know. I think it could be better than that. The only thing is I need more experience in it, you know? Like the thing is I did grind with Maister at one point. This is back when Summit was blessing us, you know?
Right.
I grinded with Maister, and then like the next 2 or 3 times I fought Maister, I beat him, you know? But of course there were long periods of times where I wasn't fighting against Game & Watch because he wasn't like as seen around the community or whatever. But like, yeah, I do think like I'm genuinely not worried about if I get to train with Miya and Acola, I genuinely would not, I don't think I'd be worried about them in the long run.
Yeah, I mean,
like, obviously they would obviously be really good players and they could still beat me, but I don't think they'd be people I'd run into in bracket and be like, fuck, I gotta play them. I think they'd be people like whatever.
I mean, my point is like I believe that obviously if you practice against Miya and Acola specifically, I do think you would be able to beat them in bracket like pretty consistently because that's the kind of player you are. Obviously, like they could also beat you too because they could like be the players to adapt as well. But I personally believe in your skill more than those two, so I believe that you would be able to beat them. But what I've been saying, or what I'm trying to say, is like for Game & Watch as a character, I feel like if you were to play against Maister, it would translate pretty almost 1-to-1 over to playing Miya, because the way you play Game & Watch, it's like the way you play Game & Watch is like the game plan for pretty much every Game & Watch player for most characters would pretty much be exactly the same. For Steve, there's a lot of different ways you can play Steve, which is why I feel like if you play against different Steves in America, there's still a chance that you might not be able to like your play style or your like the way you find out how to play against Steve. It could be specific for that Steve or a specific pool of Steves that Acola might not fall in that pool, is what I'm basically saying. That's why I'm saying I kind of agree, but I can't entirely agree just for Steve. For Game & Watch, I'm like, yeah, honestly, I feel like if you spend a day, you would probably figure him out.
I don't know. It's weird. Obviously, a lot of people are going to disagree with what you said because you basically just compared Miya and Maister, which I find hilarious. But I don't know. I think Miya and Maister actually do have a lot of similarities that people don't see because they're at the lower level. Obviously, Mia's better because he does some things a lot more polished, or he's like a lot less spammier in some scenarios. But I do think the overall idea is there. Honestly, people underrate Maister. I think he's a lot better than people. He's a lot better than people give him credit for. Obviously, Maister knows it. Everything I'll say on the podcast, everything I'll say anywhere, I'll say to their face. Maister knows I fucking hate his playstyle. I think it's spammy. I think it's so annoying. But he also knows that I actually do think he's good at the game, which is why, and I hate losing the Game & Watch. So yeah, I do think playing with Maister or just playing Game & Watch, a high level Game & Watch, what happens to only be those two, would do a lot for me. I'm really looking forward to fighting more Game & Watch. I just might have to start making some trips that I am not comfortable with making just for the sake of my future.
I agree as well. I agree that that's kind of something that you want to do especially if you want to be like the number one player and you're aspiring to be the number one player. The reason why I say that is because like I feel like the main reason why you lost to Miya was because he was literally doing one against you. He was doing one specific thing differently, which was like he would like drift back with his nairs.
That shit was broken.
That shit was crazy, right? It was just one minute thing, but it's like if you figure that out soon enough, you would have won. Which is why I'm saying, like, if you play against a specific player, you'll realize and you'll be like, oh, this is what he's doing with this character. But if you play against Maister's going to, like, I do believe that Maister is a very good player, which is why I'm saying, like, if you play against him, he will adapt and he'll start drifting back his snares because you're going to fuck him up for going forward with his snares. And then he'll be like, oh, you can do this. And then you're a player that can, like, also theory craft, even if the player's not doing something or a character's not doing something, what can the character do even if the player's not doing it? Which is what I think you would do against Miya, because there's not too much more a Game & Watch can do in general.
Yeah, to sum it up, there's a lot more I could be doing in this matchup, and I feel like if I just get the experience, I could beat them. Hey, wait, do you want to say something, Phil, before I make it like a quick transition here?
I was gonna say, I feel like, you know, it's gonna have to be at an event for sure where Miya will be at, because he did tweet out earlier he's not going to any more Steve Ban events because he didn't respect them.
Oh, really?
I think that's completely fine.
So
I agree with that.
He made that.
Our part is not Steve Ben, right?
Oh no. That TO
no.
is
They
that
will
TO
all
is
be
not
there.
that TO is about that life. I'll say that much.
Great.
Now,
So,
I
what were you
wanted
gonna
to
say?
transition this real quick into something about, and I think I've talked about this a bit on the podcast before, but if we had America's best players live in Japan for like a month or two, it's just
Mhm.
hypothetical. How do you think that would go, Cosmos? Do you think
Wait, say that again?
if we had like America's like top 5 players, let's just say, or NA, whatever NA's top 5 players are, if we lived in in Japan for a month, right? And let's say we were just going to tournaments every week, weeklies, majors, and all that. How do you think the beginning and the end of that would be?
I think the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna obviously right now I'm not top 5 in America, but I'm gonna like say top 5 and me. All right, if we all went over there in the beginning, everybody's results except like yours, you would still have some shaky results. I'll say everybody's results would be pretty much all over the place. But I think like literally if everybody was going to like every major in Japan and you say like 2 months, within a month, I feel like it would look how it looks over here because I feel like America is one of the best the American players are one of the best players at adapting, and their play style is completely different from Japan. I do think Japan is very good at adapting as well, but they do struggle with more aggro play styles at like just the general level over there. And I think most of American players are more aggressive than Japanese players. So I think the end of that would look like how it looks over here. And I think the American players would end up just being in the top 8 consistently.
I agree. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah,
all right.
I still don't think. I still think that at the end of the day, the American players would still be currently under Miya and Acola.
I don't know about that, but I respect the opinion. Anyways, Phil, what do you want to say?
I wanted to, before we put on like a bow on like the whole, well, obviously like the whole Miya conversation spawned from Rise and Grind, but before we put a bow on that event, we still have to talk about one thing a little bit more in depth, okay? And this is something since the event wrapped up, that I've been soul searching with and having to come to the realization. MKLeo. Okay.
My go.
I love this guy. I gotta say I love this guy, but he has made it impossible to be a fan right now. And let me explain why. Okay. So
17th is my favorite place.
17th. He got outplaced by a Little Mac. Shouts to Peanut. That's my guy. But he got outplaced by a Little Mac. Okay. And I saw the writing on the wall when he lost to Skinny the Pooh. And Skinny is no scrub. He's a great Mario. I saw people saying Skinny the Who. No, he probably beat you too. Okay. Skinny is a very good Mario. Okay. But MKLeo, I realized something. When I said last week on the show, a motivated MKLeo is a dangerous MKLeo. I came to the realization that the motivation, it just comes and goes to it's in waves and spurts. It doesn't seem like it's there how it should be.
Honestly,
no, don't around me. Let me talk. I got to get this off my chest. I'm sorry. Because I'm watching this. And it's off stream. You know why it's off stream? Because it wasn't expected to be anything other than MKLeo 3-0, maybe 3-1. You never know. He goes Joker, okay? Goes Joker. And he've already struggled with this before. We thought, well, he cleaned it up against Super Dog from Mexico with Marth. Marth don't see the light of day in that match. And I don't understand why. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? The Shaq on the Celtics? Russell Wilson on the Broncos? Mia Khalifa in 2023? We don't want this. This ain't the same guy that I know. And it hurts to watch because I'm just thinking to myself, okay, he lost there, and then Riddles loses the base mage. Shouts to base mage. Base mage, you should have beat Gluto too. I'll say it right now. You should have beat Gluto. He sacked out on you. You should have beat Gluto. But Riddles loses the base mage, okay? And I'm just like, oh my God, are they going to have a collision course? And surely enough, they do. I said, that's it. He going to lose. He going to get 17. And that's what happened. And I said to myself, damn, I'm surprised, but I'm not hurt because it's just like,
Are you surprised though?
It is what it is. That's how I love Leo. I think obviously he's one of the greatest of all times, but this iteration of Leo is just that. Just Leo. I don't know.
I mean,
sorry. I had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, I get it. Don't worry. I get it. I used to be the biggest Leo fan as well. I just think it's really funny because you say that it's like sometimes the motivation comes and goes, and I really feel like recently, like the past month or two, the motivation has been there consistently, and I just feel like he's just psyching himself out. He don't really know what's going on in the meta. He doesn't know how to deal with the current meta. And it's kind of always been like this ever since Smash 4, honestly, because he would always struggle against specific players, and he would always not really know what the answer is for specific players. Like back then it was Tweak and Zero, and he would try so many characters against Zero, he wouldn't be able to figure it out whenever like he knew that he would do well against Meta Knight, or he has done well against Meta Knight, or done well with Meta Knight against Zero. In the past, he just refused to go Meta Knight against Zero. And with Tweak, he just really couldn't figure it out. I feel like that's kind of how he's going. That's his perspective on the current meta in general. It's he just can't really figure it out.
He couldn't figure out that the Marth that beat the good Mario in Mexico wouldn't work against Skinny the Pooh? He couldn't think to try it? You couldn't try it?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like his Meta Knight did well against Zero in Smash 4, but he took forever to just, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. But that's why I'm saying I feel like he just thinks too much in his mind, and even whether he's trying or he's not trying, he don't know what's going on. And it's the obvious answer is right there. I've been mad at this nigga for so long. The obvious answer is right there.
Right there.
Why are you playing Marth against Mario? Play Lucina. You're easily gonna win. He wants to do what he wants. Don't care.
And that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. Essentially, he's gonna make these decisions that he wants to make. Maybe it's stubbornness, maybe it's pride, maybe it's arrogance. I don't know, but I'm checked out right now. That's still one of my fave players, but my expectations right now are just, I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. And if he does great, I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to do a little jig. The nig does a jig, okay? I'm going to be celebrating it, okay? And if he doesn't, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. Like
I still believe in Leo. I'm still going to say that. I just don't know when he's going to come back, but I believe at some point he will make a resurgence.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, Mia Khalifa's initials are MK.
Oh no!
Oh no!
maybe they're just both watched.
Oh no!
No, but
don't rate it last forever.
They're both getting fucked. Very much.
Oh
my fucking God!
You want my opinion? She was always overrated. But anyways, I was gonna say, wow, that was a lot to digest right there. But yeah, I don't know. I think the difference between now and then isn't that you said like the motivation was there. I don't think the motivation was there. I think the attempt to try to be motivated was there. Like he's like forcing himself to do it, you know? He's like trying to get back, because I've been there. Like you're trying to get back into it, you're still going to shit and you're trying to do really good, but like when it all comes down to it, you're like the motivation's still not there. You kind of feel it when you lose, you know? When you lose, you're just kind of like, wow, I care a lot less than I want to care right here, but I guess it's just not there.
Sure.
So I don't know. He could be, I still think he's in a lack of motivation period right now. Obviously, Leo, I would never underestimate him. He could just come up strong whenever he wants to. But I just don't think he's as motivated. I think he has a lot of life stuff going on, and he's just enjoying life at the moment, which I still think is fine because.
But who flies all the way to Waco, Texas, just to enjoy life? There's a lot of places that enjoy life. It ain't Waco.
He's trying to get motivated. You know, there's a difference between being motivated and attempting to be motivated. I think he's in that period, bro. You gotta give him some slack, man.
I do give him some slack. I am a huge MKLeo fan and defender. Okay, but I thought from what we saw with those weeks or /month building up to, and then him coming back a tournament earlier, right? Because remember his original scheduled return was Let's Make Moves Miami, but he moved it up to Rising Ground because he wanted to come through.
I was thinking.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, damn, he back. He back.
Let me tell you something, Phil. Let me tell you something. People are going to come in and out of your life, and you just got to let them go. Just gotta let them go.
What are you trying to say?
You know how
You can't slow down with them. You gotta keep moving. Now say it with me. We move.
We move.
Move. We move.
Let's move on to this from this topic before I start crying again.
I miss him.
It's tough. It's tough. But something you might have missed. Oh, Lord have mercy. I know a lot of people are going to want to hear our takes on this. I'm going to just go ahead and just start it off. So, as you guys know, the Steve discourse has picked all the way back up. And along with this,
Yo, you had such a sadistic smile when you said that shit.
I didn't say nothing.
It has picked all the way.
All the way back up. It's back. All right. And with that, there have been some, obviously some tweets have been made by, some people. I think it started with Acola. Apparently he had a stream where he was very depressed and not feeling good about, how people are treating him.
Recently?
In reference to Steve, to the point where I think that video or that VOD was deleted by Acola himself. And I've always been very vocal, whether it be on this podcast or whether it be on commentary. I think Acola's a great player. I think he's a great kid, fantastic individual. I have never had anything negative to say about Acola. Remember, guys, I'm one of the people who advocates for Steve to be legal. That's because I don't feel like he's ban worthy. That's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. But I like Acola. He's a great kid. So it was terrible to hear some stuff about that, but that kind of had like a little bit of a snowball effect, a little bit of a ripple effect, because I started seeing some tweets go up, about some, I don't know, concerning behavior from somebody who apparently made some very reckless tweets, okay, on their private account. I'm talking about Dark Wizzy, okay? Somebody leaked his private account. Now I want to preface this by saying this, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, this leak that was done by this guy Smacks, okay? This wasn't done with just some good faith, because he preferences before he even tweets out the screenshots. He says, "That's it. The Smash community deserves to know." That's what he tweets first. Okay. I'm like,
that's some bullshit.
Oh, first of all, I'm like,
I'm doing this for you.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, do you talk like this in person? Because I got something else the Smash community needs to know. You're a goofy, okay? A whole ass goofball.
Goober. You're a goober.
I mean, seriously, what is this? I mean, and then he proceeds to eventually tweet it out. And I'm going to put that.
He didn't even respect you enough to call you. He said you are a goofy. That's crazy.
Whole ass goofy, bro. So here it is. Here are the tweets for everybody to see. I showed this to Light and Cosmos earlier, but some of the tweets are, I don't know if any of y'all just watched that, but Acola is not good at this effing game. I hope every Steve player fucking burned. Holy fucking shit. This character is for losers. His next tweet, actually such a pathetic player base. Literally none of them are good. I did not fist bump after that garbage. I just sat there and fought and then left. F this game and F Steve players. Holy effing shit. Proceeds to get a little darker here. After losing to Double Steve today, I suddenly remembered me and Michael Myers go way back. He can handle my problems in a different way. What the heck?
Oh, God.
Highlight of my day was shit talking Acola's skill with Spargo. Quote tweets us Acola play. Garbage fucking player. So, needless to say, Dark Wizzy, not a fan of Steve. More specifically, Acola. Maybe even own him, because apparently these tweets were from last year around the time of Let's Make Moves Miami. And remember who was in grand finals of that? 2 Steve players, Acola and Onan. So now Dark Wizzy has since issued a public statement and apologized for that. I want to make it clear. Smacks or whoever leaked it, you're a lame ass for leaking private stuff.
You're a goofy.
You're a whole ass goofy. Like, first, I don't want to hear your reasoning. Nah, shut up, snitch. We don't talk to you, okay? But I will say this. Dark Wizzy, now, this could have all been avoided, nigga, if you got a diary, okay? A journal, something, maybe a therapist for some of that shit I was reading. Because let me tell you something, that did not need to make its way to the internet in any capacity, my brother. I don't know what you were thinking, but it didn't pan out too well for you. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
All right. There's a lot.
I have to just make sure I know who Michael Myers really is. Okay. I'm right. Okay.
All right. That shit was funny. All right. So, do you want to go first? Because I have a few paragraphs here.
I just feel like Acola's a good kid, man. Acola's a good kid. I really, really like him. He's like a really mature kid. He's like, I feel like I respect him a lot because I feel like he's kind of similar to Spargo, but in a different way, where he's growing up earlier than most people should. So I respect it because he was literally thrown into the limelight, #1 ranking spot where people won't respect you. And I feel like taking it one of the best ways that anybody possibly could. And I feel like as a top player, as a human, as an individual, I have to respect that. Even if I don't like Steve as a character, and I think Steve is a very, very elevated character, I still think just the way he uses him and like the way he just takes in everything, keeps to himself, and just keeps on playing the game, trying to be the best, representing his country, because that's also what he wants to do. I could tell that at Kagaribi when he lost to Spargo, he definitely wanted to win specifically there because he wanted to defend his country. I feel like he definitely plays more than just for like being the best and like playing for a #1 spot. And just because you like Steve, I feel like I can't respect him too much. Where like just seeing that makes me really upset. it's just, I don't know why the fuck he said Michael Myers. What the fuck is he talking about, bro?
Getting spooky. It's spooky season.
All right.
So yeah, I really like Acola as a kid, so I can't really get behind anything that he said. And Smacks is a whole ass goofy, but Dark Wizzy is even goofier. That's all I can say.
There you go. Light.
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying by the end of this paragraph or whatever I gotta say, I probably won't be liked as much. So whatever, I don't really care.
Here we go.
So for one, obviously, I do agree people need to learn to separate the hate from player versus character, because everybody fucking hates Steve, but obviously like players shouldn't be getting the flack for it. You know, it kind of sucks they do get the flack for it, especially since Acola is like younger. It's not easy for him to like handle because he's new to this shit. Like Cosmo said, he did just kind of get thrown into this. So I do feel bad for that. What's the name of the guy who leaked this shit?
Smacks. I think Smacks.
Yeah. I don't think you actually care about this. I honestly think this is a process that you see in real life and a lot of stuff. It's like, okay, Smacks, you did this because you thought it'd be cool. You're not cool. Wizzy apologized, not because he actually apologizes. He apologized because he got caught. Let's be real. That's how that goes. It's just what you do. And, you know, I'm going to be real. A lot of these tweets, these are on his private account. The way these come off to me, these tweets really aren't that serious. Like he's clearly making a joke. Like the Michael Myers thing, that's clearly a fucking joke, you know? I'm not going to look at this and be like,
that's the way
I'm not, but again, but like the way, you know, Twitter and everybody guesses up, they're going to look at like, oh, Wizzy's fucking psychotic. He needs to go to a mental institute. It's like, bro, he's obviously fucking joking around. This is also definitely like player rage after you just lost, because at the end of the day, Wizzy is also a competitor, you know? Wizzy's a competitor. Wizzy's just blowing off steam, and he sounds like a salty fuck. Unfortunately, we live in a world where it's not about what you say, it's about what you get caught saying. Trust me, people have said a lot worse than this. You know, I feel bad for Acola. I do think, yeah, I know you have. I feel bad for Acola. I think a lot of people have said a lot worse shit about Acola than what Wizzy said here. I think a lot of this was directly aimed at Steve. The garbage fucking player thing. It's like, obviously that's directed at Acola.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie. One thing I will say is we are in a competitive space. People do get mad. And I'm not saying that you should like swear and cuss people out and talk shit, but people are gonna get mad and people are gonna say shit. I really do think this should be overlooked for the most part, because again, it is on his private Twitter.
I don't think Smack should be overlooked.
He was saying this in a space where he felt like he can, you know, rage because he just lost his job and he was just trying to blow steam off. Again, I don't think he's actually sorry. I think he's just, you know, he has to say that. And I don't think this should be this blown out of proportion. But I do think the public hate towards these people should be like stemmed better, because like Acola does not deserve it. A lot of people don't deserve it.
Yeah, but I agree. Yeah. And honestly,
there's both sides to everything.
I honestly also feel bad for Spargo for just honestly being lumped into it, because
and HBox too. To be fair, HBox too. He should have been lumped into it.
That wasn't even related to what was going on. But like,
people look at what Spargo said. They're like, oh, well, he's talking about Acola, which means he hates Acola, which means he's evil.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, obviously, Spargo is definitely one of the players who, like I lump him and Acola together. Like, they are growing up faster than people usually do because they are in situations where adults are usually in. And they're just basically like they are maturing faster than people do.
Right.
So Spargo is one player to not really. He does not hate. He does not lump players with character, and he is one to separate them. So whenever he's saying like he doesn't like Steve, he's openly saying that he does not like Steve. He's never ever said he hates Acola for that ever once. And I know for a fact because I've talked to him too. We've both complained about Steve. It's never been directed towards Acola. It's been Steve, literally just Steve. So I know that he's definitely done that with other players too, because players vent about characters they don't like. It's not some kind of foreign concept. Every country does it. Every continent does it. Japan does it. Mexico does it. Europe does it. Everybody does it. So just to kind of try to lump some people in there and like say that they, like Spargo, is connecting like his hate for Steve as in he might not like Acola. It's just not how it is. It's not how it is.
I'll just say this. I know people are gonna direct the like what you just said at the what Wizzy said. Like, highlight of my day was talking shit about Acola's skill with Spargo, right? Which I ain't gonna lie to you. That probably happened. I ain't gonna lie. But like, bro, we all do it, and it's not just about Acola. We all do it about each other. I fucking hate Gluttony. Gluttony knows I fucking hate him. Yeah. I hate fighting Maister. I think you're all shit play. Like, that's how it goes, you know? These are people that I have to play with for my job every month of my life. This is just the reality of it. You're not in the space. But if Acola and Spargo are in a room together, Spargo's not going to look at this kid and be like, you're a fucking piece of shit, by the way. I hate you. No, they're
exactly. He's not Maister.
No, they're not.
I'm kidding.
Facts. No, but like they're going to talk to each other, you know? At the end of the day, he's going to do. It's like Luto said. Us getting mad at this character just means that they're doing something right. That's why when people get mad at your character, it's ultimately a good thing. You know, it sucks that you got to hear about, but it's ultimately a good thing. You know, once you get in that death threat or like weird ass area, that's where it gets fucking wild. But the people who are mainly doing that shit are people who are not actually part of our community. There's just these Twitter goons, you know, that are actually not relevant. But like Spargo's going to talk to the person. He's going to play with him. He's going to get better at the matchup. Spargo's going to beat him again. And then he's going to still be mad because he's playing Steve. You know, that's just how it goes. I do the same thing with Gluttony. I fucking love Gluttony. I hate playing him. I hate him as a competitor, but I love that dude as a person. You know, it's just how that goes. That's the reality of it. And it's just everybody making everything bigger than it needs to be. I really feel bad that Acola gets all the hate, but I guarantee you most of that hate is just these fans who take things way too out of proportion.
Yeah, I agree.
Like drama.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you know, again, we here on this podcast, we support Acola, cool kid. Same goes to Onan. Same goes to every Steve player, man. Like, you know, having problems with the character is one thing. Don't take it out on the person. I just, you know, there's a lot of people who like gaslight and say, oh my God, I'm getting death threats. I actually believe that some people send some crazy shit to these kids.
Yeah, people are wild.
Don't do that. It's not cool. And I look forward to seeing them compete and casting their matches because they're awesome. I don't care what you say. But
imagine if Acola was American and like he was winning all the same tournaments he's winning now. And he's like, I just don't know how to feel. But like he has all the American winnings money around him.
Nah, he would. He would have developed the American arrogance. Okay, I think he'd be a complete tool, and I love that. Like, just be a complete douchebag to all these people hating on you. You know what I'm saying? Be like, I'm gonna take your stock and your bitch. What's up?
I wonder how Miya feels. I don't think Miya definitely gets the same hate. It's just not as, I don't think it's as like known because you know Acola's number one. But like, I saw Miya make a tweet at Rise and Grind. Something about him being in Winners Final. He's like, people are going to be like, oh, it's because I play Game & Watch.
They're going to say Game & Watch carried me. Just laugh at them and watch me.
Yeah, just laugh at them while I'm in like Winners Final. That, bro, honestly, he gives me such meme mentalities at his age. Like the arrogance.
Apparently that's like how he's always been like since like he's even before he was doing well. He was like like shit talker and like a meme head on Twitter.
Yeah, like for sure. Like he gives that mentality where like he's just very confident, and I fuck with him. Like that's the beauty of it. I hate it and I love it. I hate it because like I want to beat his ass, but like I love it. Like, that's the competitor mindset you got to carry, bro. He's here to fucking win. Shut the shit talkers up. Come to my country and say that we're bad. Get me salty to the point where I'm about to fly over to his country with Michael Myers.
Look, getting that thing through customs.
And orangutan with a knife.
Let's move on from this subject. I think we made some good points there. We said our piece, and hopefully that at least to our audience, that'll deter any kind of attacking the players in general. Don't care if you don't like the character, that's fine. Don't attack the players. Just to finish that up. Couple things I wanted to shout out real quick too before we go to our next thing. Both Spargo and Sonics, who obviously top 5/10 in NA.
Better than Sonics. I'm better than you. All right, go on.
They competed this past weekend as well and respectively won their event. Sonics went game 10 with Capitancito after losing in winners final. So kudos to him for resetting and winning that. And then Spargo won a pretty stacked tournament. And I think it was Guatemala. I don't want to misspeak if I'm wrong, but somewhere out there, SkyJ was there, MVD was there, Wako, who got second, was there. He's the Luigi player, and then Alan Disc got third there as well. So kudos to Spargo holding it down. Those two getting big wins. Want to just give them a brief shout out and some love as well because I thought that was pretty cool. Another thing that was super cool that I think you guys probably saw was the last chance qualifier for Watch the Throne has officially been announced. It's happening at Genesis Black, baby. That's right. Come out and get black because it's going to be a great event.
Whoa.
I should have wrote that. I should have wrote that down. My bad. But yeah, Genesis Black is that's going to be pretty cool. You guys thinking about going?
Not anymore.
Oh, come on.
I'll see you at Watch the Throne as a spectator.
Okay, I'm thinking about going to Genesis Black depending on who goes because I'm just all about that practice. It also would be nice to go over there and just spend a week there and get ready for Watch the Throne. So I might be doing that.
Awesome.
Big might. Okay. Who knows? Maybe I have found an apartment by then and I gotta move. Who knows?
If I go, will you go help me win?
Yeah, we'll do the usual. We run into each other. I'll throw the set for you. You get the qualification. Yeah, the usual. Yeah.
Usual last chance qualifier Cardinals win dub. Like,
well, if we're being real, every last chance actually, no, that's not true. I've won a last chance qualifier, but I've also busted out at one. Yeah,
but you definitely like made me win the last chance qualifier at Shine because I beat Zomba. I was in grand finals, but you had to eliminate him from the tournament, and then you just like I'm tired and through. That's how I won Shine.
Zomba's a gem.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping that me and Zomba. Well, is Zomba going to Let's Make Moves Miami?
He said he's going to go to Genesis Black if he does not qualify at the other events.
Okay, yeah. So that's pretty much where I am as well. I'm hoping that one of us two or both of us qualify from Let's Make Moves Miami and or Port Priority, and then the other one can qualify at Genesis Black. So I am definitely thinking about going because I know Port Priority is going to be pretty hard. I still believe my skill level to do well, especially knowing that people are very stressed whenever there's a qualification spot for something like that on the line. That's usually how it goes. That's how I usually win the last qualifier because I'm like, everybody's scared, so I'd have no reason to be as scared. But Port Priority is just going to have a lot of top talent that you honestly can run into people who are already in Watch the Throne who don't give a fuck and they're just playing and then they can still beat you. But obviously I'm still definitely going to be trying at Port Priority and if it doesn't happen there, I'm going to be trying at Genesis Black potentially. But if not, you'll probably still see me at Watch the Throne regardless. We'll see how it goes.
If Zomba doesn't qualify, is he really the best in America? I mean, he's not. He's top 3, but he thinks he's the best. But if he doesn't qualify, is he really the best in America?
If
he does not qualify?
Yeah, if he doesn't.
I mean, I guess it depends if the other Americans play a buster and do even worse than him.
Well, me and Tweak already qualified, so.
I don't. Come on, man.
The buzz is too. The buzz is too, by the way. So
the real number 3. Yes, sir.
So throw that out there. Oh, by the way, shout out to Zamba. I mentioned Sonic and Spargo winning this weekend or past weekend. Zamba won a tournament in New York as well over Syrup. So kudos to him. So we got 3 homies getting 3 wins as well. I just want to throw that out there. But that's obviously Genesis Black, and that's like a big nod to Watch the Throne for the Last Chance qualifier. What about the actual Genesis? Genesis X, baby. Genesis number 10 officially being announced. That's going to be happening February 16th through the 18th, I believe, which is pretty sick. A lot of backlash, though, from some people on Twitter regarding the price of the event. You know, saying, oh, man, this is super expensive. I think it was like in the 125, 150 range, something like that. But I think you're getting like a 24-hour venue, which a lot of you do abuse, let's be honest.
I do. I love that shit.
You know what I mean? So like you get some really good perks. Like one thing I won't stand for is people saying that, oh man, these TOs are just greedy. First, like these guys might have been TOing before some of you were even born. So you should really just watch your mouth, okay? Like the Genesis TOs are some of the most legit people that I personally have ever seen in the scene. Not including Zelgatus, if you know, you know. But that had nothing to do with the actual TOs who hold it down every single year and every single Genesis. Sheridan Bobak, like the main ones there. So I think it's well worth the money. I mean, like, you know, think about what these Swifties spend on Taylor Swift tickets. Good God in heaven. Don't come after me, Swifties. I know she's good. She's on white chocolate. I can get behind it, literally. But I'm just saying, if people gonna go and spend that kind of bucks to go see a concert, come on out and spend some money to go see a little bit of, or get to see and play some Smash Bros action. It's gonna be a good event. It's a legacy event. It's celebrating 10 events. That's amazing. And I think it's well worth the money.
And it comes with the last day pass.
Yeah, that's huge. It's never done that before, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Nope, never has. Usually, yep. And you know what top players never do? We never buy one. You know why? We're just gonna qualify, and if we don't qualify, we're like, fuck.
Well, fuck. My friend's gonna qualify. I'm gonna get that. I'm
gonna get that backstage pass, bro. Being in Genesis and getting a backstage pass is low key the worst feeling in the world. People be looking at you like. Well, I've never experienced this. I've top 8 every Genesis and Ultimate. But anyways, I see how they look at others. They'd be like, what are you doing here?
you giving me the backstage pass? What are you doing here?
Plus ones are all aplenty. I will say this. There's going to be somebody who says, well, EE, of course you say this. You're going to get hired for the event, so you don't have to pay a thing. Of course I'm going to get hired. I'm fucking great at what I do, Jim. But in the spirit of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raffle off one Genesis pass on me. Okay, one of our lucky Lights Out viewers are going to win a free Genesis pass on EE, okay? I'm going to make that happen. Just so you guys can see that that's how much I believe the event is worth, okay? Just so you know, I have that set up within the next 2 weeks. I got you.
But the real question, were you going to say something like?
I would do it, but that's too much money. No, but I'm kidding.
It is, yeah.
No, imagine that.
It is.
It's not.
You're on, Phil.
It's too expensive for me, but you guys should definitely go.
I don't know who said all expensive paid. I said the pass, Jim. Okay, get yourself on a Greyhound bus and get up there.
It is definitely worth it, though. I honestly think it's a consensus that Genesis is like one of the best events of all times.
Definitely.
But I will say last year was a bit weird. But judging off what they're doing already this year and how much it is, I'm ready for that red carpet back, bro. I'm ready for that, bro. No, bro. Like Genesis is actually like one of the greatest events. People who are saying it's not worth it, it's like I think it's 100% worth it, especially with a 24-hour venue. It's so fun. The competition is so vigorous there, bro. My first Genesis was Genesis 4, and when I went there, everyone who lost was crying. And that is worth note. Like I saw so many.
Cosmo was crying when he beat Renai.
Bro, so many. Yeah, because he had to defeat one of someone from Japan. I remember that, bro. Everyone was crying. Everyone was just so emotional and sad. And I just remember thinking, this is great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is great. Like this Genesis is the first and one of the only times I've seen so many people be passionate about the game at the same time, because losing is truly frustrating, and seeing people cry and show their emotion because they care so much about that event. It's just beautiful, bro. You want to be there. Yeah. You know, you might see me cry.
Everyone used to say like, oh man, Evo's the Super Bowl event of the year for Smash. It's always been Genesis. It's always been Genesis, and it's not close. And we have a lot of amazing events coming up. Obviously, I shout out Watch the Throne. How about Port Priority, which just recently hit P tier? Love that for that event. Genesis obviously is going to go.
Wait, are we teaming for Port? Or do you know?
If you want to,
I see.
Good.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, Cosmo, have you ever cried at a tournament?
Yeah. I cried at fucking Evo when I was about to get top 8, and then I up aired on the top platform. This was Smash 4 Evo. I up aired on the top platform in game 3. I was at 50%. MVD was at 120. He barely air dodged. I teched the frames, by the way, 2-frame air dodge, like 2 frames too late that I did the up air, and then he up aired me, and I died at 50, and then Samurai Panda came up, hugged MVD, came to me right afterwards, said it's all good, man, and I ran away and cried for like an hour straight.
I've cried at 2 tournaments. Do we have time for these stories?
I ain't got nowhere to go.
All right, bet. I'll give you my 2 crying stories real quick. They're both Mars related. Fun fact.
Right.
So the first time I ever cried at a tournament was actually at a monthly. But like the reason I cried was because for the first time in my life, I finally was higher than Mars on the New England Power Ranking, right? And this is back when Pug West was still around, if you guys know who Pug West is, right? This is just for reference,
Right.
Yeah, no. So, basically, I finally outplaced him on the PR, which was amazing for me. Like I spent a lot of my career trying to do that. Obviously, he lived rent free in my head for a good while because he was number 1 in my region. I was number 2, right? And then after I finally outplaced him, I went to a tournament that weekend. And while I was at the tournament, while I was sitting in winners semis, I think, right? Or winners finals, on the Facebook page, they did some bullshit. And they basically were like, hey guys, we made a mistake. Mars is actually number 1. Light is now number 2 again. And this is the New England Power Ranking, like 3 days later. And I remember I saw that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, first of all, fuck New England. I'll say it. I live here. Fuck New England. Because that shit was definitely rigged as fucked. And I remember that shit happened. And I was just kind of quiet, kind of processing it. And then I lost motivation. I fought Pug West in winners finals. He absolutely dogged my shit. Like he destroyed me, bro. And then after he beat me, he knew something was wrong. He just looked at me and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I just like literally walked out the building and I just started fucking crying. But
it's a lot to take.
I got mad. I was like, if this is how it's gonna be, I'm just gonna be so good that there can never be any doubt in my mind that he's better than me and anybody else's mind. So I went back in there. I cleaned up. I won through losers finals. I 6-0'd Pug. Went out on my day, and that's what I did. I was number 1 in Smash 4 by the end of it.
Mans.
And then the second time I cried was a big house tournament before all this happened, where I was winning, and then he he's ZSS. He cheesed me after beating me, and I remember I was like, I lost after like choking that big ass lead, and I just went to the corner and I just started crying, and I was just like speaking to myself. I was like, when will I be enough?
Was it the one when he got second?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe it was. All I know is I was beating him and I was like winning. It might have been that one. And I like literally was just crying. Like, when will I be enough? Like, when will I be good enough to like get this mental block out of my head? Honestly, those were tough times. But you overcome those moments, and that's what makes you a better player. Ultimately, you need those hurdles.
That's how
Fuck
you got to do
Mars.
And you both have went on to a great amount of success. Friend of the show, Mars, of course. And eternal rival to my man.
He's gonna eat that shit up. Just know.
I do have a question though, since we were on the topic about Genesis. Do you think this is a very serious question? Leo's washed, obviously. Do you think Mr. Genesis still exists though?
Yeah, he's scripted.
I think the only way it happens is if it starts today. Like, you have got to be grinding every single day. Well, not every single day, but at least 3 to 4 times a week. And you have got to get past this unwillingness to switch characters when it matters. I don't care what you do at at a local in Mexico. Obviously, that's a great talent. But, bro, please. You have sorties available. There's like 16 of them in the game. Pick one and slap those Marios. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this right now, Leo, and I hope someone clips it and sends it to you. If you ever come to a tournament and you lose to
Winnie the Pooh?
No. If you lose to Dark Wizzy, okay, you become a name in his death note, okay? If
Michael
you ever
Myers.
lose to Dark Wizzy, we're done. All right? We are done. All right?
But they used to play a lot together.
Yeah, I know. It was just topical.
I think Leo will be fine. I think that is the one thing that will bring Leo's motivation back. So I think he'll like be motivated for that event. I think he'll be fine.
I feel like the only thing, like, I feel like one of the reasons why he really likes Genesis is because it's usually on his birthday weekend. Now it's just a month later, so it don't really count anymore.
We'll see
how
what
he does. No one thought he was going to win Genesis last year.
Nobody, because he literally lost like the last 2 or 3 tournaments leading up to it.
I mean, we lost 2 or 3 after that too.
He did.
Yeah, but it's Genesis, bro. I think he gets more motivated for that event because he knows he got the legacy going on there, bro. So I think he might just be more motivated.
We will see. I'm eager. I mean, we got a long way to go from there, so we'll see what his next tournament has in store. At least, hopefully, a top 8. Because we're always rooting for you, Leo. Might give you a little bit of a hard time. It's called tough love, my guy. We love you, but not everybody seems to love the next event coming out. Big House. Wow, that's right around the corner. All
Big
right.
House, the Melee event.
Yes, yeah, apparently, it's been refurbished to the mid house, at least for Ultimate, because that is definitely I think they were flirting with an A tier. Now it's like locked in as a B tier due to, I think, Zamba dropped out last minute. They tried to get some top 10 player to go with like a, hey, we'll pay for your travel and everything here. Apparently, it did not pan out. So I think it's going to be, and Riddles dropped out too. I think it's going to be sensational for Melee. Oh my God, I can't wait to watch that Melee top 8. But Ultimate, not looking the most stacked. I will say that.
I wonder why they really cared about making Big House specifically like an A tier or a higher tier tournament, but they usually don't do that for any other big Ultimate tournament.
I think it was because they wanted to dispel the notion that, hey, like, we love Ultimate too. We care about it. And I'm sure that I'm not knocking the people who are running the event about it, like the actual TOs, like Array and a Flow, who I think are going to be there. They're sensational. They really do care about the Ultimate community. They've done a great job at Genesis and other tournaments in NorCal. I can't say the same for like the actual head honcho from just previous behavior. Say what you want. Like it's there. And I'm not the only one who said it. Many players have said it. Commentators have said it. It's going to be one of those events that, had all the potential in the world to be bigger for Ultimate. And, hopefully maybe if they go again next year, and do it some more justice. I don't know. But it ain't it right now. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Any expectations? Any predictions?
Oh, don't care about it.
Not really.
Don't care about it. I'm not there.
I think Mango's gonna win Melee. Call it a day.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's gonna win Melee, but I hope he does. But a Mango top 8 run would be nasty. I'd love to see that.
Mango told me at Shine this is just not his he said it's not his year. He's taking a break year. So I don't know.
Dude, we should get Mango on the podcast. I think he'd come.
Why not?
Should.
That's the homie, bro.
All right, bet. I'll reach out to him.
Try it out for next week.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. Let's see. The last thing I want to talk about, and I don't know if you guys saw this, the Lumi Rank, our official rankings, they made a statement, and it's regarding Steve in the 2024 season. And I'll just read the first paragraph because it kind of summons everything up. Last time you heard from us regarding this topic, we said, I'll put it on screen for some of you guys. Last time you heard from us regarding this topic, we said we would be back early October with a decision. Apologies for the delay, as the process took longer than expected. Steve banned events will be counted for the 2024 season and will be weighed the same as Steve legal events. So there's like a whole paragraph that accompanies that on how they came to that process. But just you guys' general thoughts as competitors who, could end up at either one of these events and maybe having them hurt you.
Stop banning Steve.
I feel like it was pretty obvious because Luminrank, Luminosity makes move. Luminosity makes big moves. Luminati makes moves. Miami, both Steve banned tournaments. I feel like I don't know why anybody did not.
Yeah, why would they make their own tournaments cost less?
Yeah,
you know.
Come on,
you haven't made any moves.
Maybe the wrong ones. I don't agree with that Steve ban at all. That's unfortunate, but that's the verdict on that. So, I'm hoping that some of these, even like, I know probably like for an event like Miami, it's too late to maybe change your decision, but I don't know if like Let's Make big moves for this upcoming January has like decided officially if Steve's banned or not. I don't really know. But they need to maybe consider not banning Steve because I think it's really dumb. This guy's very vocal about it being dumb. So
not the ban part though. The
ranking part. That's what I mean. Yeah. It
he's the one who started. He's the Jim who started that conversation.
Tell Void
problems.
Tell Void that is a very nice shirt. Oh, he's gone.
Right. He's not Hawaii. Take it off. Anyways. All right. So
yes, sir.
I'm guessing we're about to wrap up. So I just want to say one thing. I know we have a translator that watches this stream from Japan.
Yeah.
Thank you for translating. I really appreciate all that you do for us. And I also want to say, since I'm sure he'll translate this as well. Acola, you're great at this game. Keep doing you. I hate your character, but I don't hate you. And I'm coming for you because if I can't beat you, then I can't be the best. Be ready.
I like that. That's the first time I've actually heard you say that beating Acola would make you feel like the best as opposed to Leo.
Well, that's because Leo's not the best right now. Leo's
that's the first time you've publicly said, like, I see more value in beating Acola than Leo right now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, you just got to keep moving. And I don't got time to be sentimental. I got to keep playing the game.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, that'll wrap up this edition of Lights Out. I do want to say, Acola, if this happens to reach you, we'd love to have you on the podcast sometime. Probably like an in-person thing, maybe at like a port priority so we can kind of like record it and then have the translator's parts kind of weaving over your audio. I think that would be actually pretty cool. So I'm going to try and make that happen. And just in general, thanks again to everybody who watches the show. Episode 31 had a lot to cover, but definitely was worth the timestamp that you are seeing. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the vibes, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.